Okay, anyone here? We have our results. This is a bit awkward. Yeah, I shot my best Leonardo DiCaprio at the Oscars. Okay, beginners we have Harry, Rodri, Tom, Megan and Morgan. Advanced we have Jack, Liam, Dean and George. But Dan and Liam kind of tied, so we're going to have a little tiny poetry slam for them both here. Actual fight. Yeah, so we love poems. So first we have Liam up.
I'll stand this time.
You'll stand?
Yeah, no, I'll stand. I never realised how tall I am until I got on the stage, and then it's kind of like, there's the roof. Yeah, I'm going to read the one I was going to read first, so yeah, it's kind of a second. It's called Farmer, and a little bit of exposition. There's a counting song in it that was used by northern farmers. So yeah, this is called Farmer. I furrow the earth that will take my blood, where seeds will go for life to grow. Generations of men have sown their own capillaries, their veins in the soil, to assist dry roots, our dirty blood brought to boil. Rise to the cock, holy level, signs of betrayal, good morning blues, one light last left before full sun, David. Because my wife is gone, couldn't stand it, the loneliness, and neither can I. The sun breaks on lines after mud lines, and wonder yawns on insects glistening in the semi-sun. But now, I still have the chicks, the lamb, the cow. Too much to do to die, sleep now. Count the sheep into the fold, the old way. Yan, tan, tefera nefera pit, sefera lefera hovera dovera dit. But there's always one in this.
Okay, next we have Dan, please.
I do have a drink this time. Yes. Right. This is the second one I was going to do. I read the reading a few weeks ago, so I do apologise for repetition. But it's called Maladroit. George, help me out again.
I don't know.
I'll do. God damn it, George. Listen in. The wavelength wanes. The cause is adamantine, coiled in russet curls round a limp lace finger, poised on a pivot of all imagined splendour that nestles its weary head in silk. Intractable the resolution, shaped by cracking screens and baffled spacemen, running the dream in bending x-rays round an absent skeleton cradled in a closet. Lipstick slathered inexpertly, mascara mistaken for eyeliner, what's the difference? I don't know. Perfumed legs alive and roaring. There's life in the beast, they tell me. Don't go too near or it will eat you whole. I'm gay. There's sweat in the carpet and mirror balls in your eyes and a slit in my dress so I can navel gaze when out on the town. I glide on oaks so smooth like I'm on roller skates to the depth of disco. I hear the synthesizer knell. I feel my balls retract. I see the lights that topple all the blizzard windmills wheeling in my milkshake mind and bell-bottom blues whirl off like carousels spinning into the night. I watch them dance into folk-stained fields, romanticized moors that pull me back to childhood and snowdrifts, and that sense of wonder easily drawn from the simples on dandelion drifts, mein Cariad van Hadai in a language I do not know, a borrowed tongue on borrowed time. Fingers locked, unlocking the sky on strands astride the tarmac streets that circuit stands. We are supine on the sand. We are supine on the sand, inert to tide, unert to shale, a tempest on the thin blue line that separates the sea and sky and keeps us here. Our scansion blows us wide and fishes out our breath. Brief hooks that catch in our teeth and grit in our gums. Oh, spare not me, the lambent wave weaver. Spare not me, this shaven monkey's babble. Spare not me, the tonguey delinquent rolling in the breeze. Not me, not me. Not me, the wind waker, the dream sleeper, the sieve keeper, the drill deeper, the mind quaker, the soup taker, the morn intruder, breaking bolts of lightning, bottles, bottling, botching, baiting, waiting, mating, sating, prating, rating, grating, dating us. We dull our supine on the sand. We tired-eyed acres, crying ourselves all dry in drought, spill out our irises, our lids close sharp, tilt and flat. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we'll tally scores up.
Do you have during the exhibition? You didn't get to do. We just thought about
What's your joke?
I used to work as a mime, so now I can talk about it.
Spiritual level.
Yeah. Fucking yes!
What?
Are you still filming?
Yes.
Oh. Just stand here. If we had a joke.
I have a joke.
Okay.
So you've been on a phone. It's pretty, I like it.
Did you hear the one about Hegel and negation?
No?
I'll stop filming now.
First up, could we have Harry again, please?
Okay, I wrote this poem when I just first started writing poetry for a girl, and I thought I was Keats. Thought I was the new Keats. I'm going to do it proud. So I've just basically thrown in as many images as possible, which I didn't really get it. Okay, this is called Camden Canal. As the light made islands on the water, just electric bubbles frozen in warmth. Tucking tired beaks beneath winds, these pigeons wander into sleep, into petals tessellated into thoughts. That summer aura that sparks from you and thruns, move a dial to a sanguine solstice in me. Hitting cold skin, the blood rushes autumn. Loose-fingered trees feel catharsis for freed leaves, and in these veins speeds my London guttural estuaries to syncopate their tide beats with yours. Those Mediterranean wine-filled arteries will encompass my imperfection into pearls. For my idealists on its hearts you come, fixed upon air, a changeable paint that can't run. The newborn fern fronds you unfolded your words, cut by castanet syllables peppered in. Those sentences you ushered forth in pacified herds as burning plumes this ripple fire wind thinned, and the barbarism in your eyes is rare. They do shine like molasses, eyes, dew, glass, and those lips so pronounced like the unbroken waves that tear, on the cusp of unspoken words braced for freedom. Core bright, I see the rose through the ornament, the slight rise in your nose to those angular cheekbones, and further, a picture of stunning complex arrangement. Identity is in these cogs, and in you are the pieces of home. Islands on the canal of time, forever moments unfaded. We aren't seen in a new light without being more illuminated. Thank you very much.
Next up, could we have Rodri, please?
Hello.
flowy and everything. So this is called Padded Room. Monday is padded room. My cage without bars, my cell out the window. Nothing to look at but sponge pads on my bare feet. No toilet, no bed, not even my old pictures. They think I'm mad. That's why I'm here. Fucking mad. You'd be mad if they put you in here. I was saying once, still am, almost. You begin to mimic people around you. So if you spend your days with mad people, it's only natural that you'll end up mad. Mad as hatters. I hate this jacket. It's hardly a string jacket when your arms are curved around your sides. Got so many itches, and we can't even scratch them. The time passes so slowly in here. There's no clock and nothing to do. I might chew my feet again. That's all I can really do here. Open is the door and in come the staff. The nurse smiles and kneels down. Well, hello there. And how are you feeling today, she says, patting my head. Fucking bitch. There's evil behind those eyes. She acts all nice. She knows it annoys me. I could eat that hand, I'm so hungry. Oh, I'm just delightful, thank you, I say sarcastically. She continues to smile with a sadist's eyes. Well, that's good, isn't it? She replies, apparently not getting the hint. But she does, and she knows how to react to it. A cooling ice bath. Ah, that's wrong. My balls are gone again, hibernating inside me for warmth. I'm just shivering out here. The staff scrub me clean and wash my hair, but there's no spa though. But when they're done, it's back in the straight jacket. At least I'm warm again. I get 3 meals a day, and they're all shit. Bowls of soup and sandwiches. You know, at least I don't have to sit with the others. I get spoon-fed, which is something at least. And then they leave me in the rec room with the other loonies. I sit and wait and wait and sit. If only McMurphy and Chief were here, they could break me out of this hell. Then back in the padded room, comfy and boring. Just a few more hours of tedious monotony before sleep. I hate the spongy colour of this room. I could vomit a better colour onto these walls, but then I'd have to deal with the smell. There's no windows in here. Lights off, total darkness, falling asleep to my own dull humming. Tuesday, same as yesterday. Thank you.
Next up, we have Tom, please.
We'll work with it. By the way, I am available on Snapchat. My tag is Tom.Bully. Okay, has everyone heard of the American writer Gore Vidal? Yes. Anyone? No. I'd just like to mention one of his quotes, because it's part of the poem. He did want to say that shit had its own integrity. So, make it what you will. This next poem I wrote very recently. It's called The Amazing Thing About Poetry. Here it goes. The amazing thing about poetry is that I can write absolutely anything. And it will remain to be, every single time, shit. But hey, I don't write to please the masses, as some learn from my writing classes. I write to express an idea. Except the one about shooting seagulls, maybe that was a bad idea. But the point remains still, poetry is expression. And though a little self-indulgent at times, which all poets are guilty as charged, its very nature is sublime. It exists in a winter blanket that comforts the downhearted and keeps people warm with the acceleration of this human race, plunging forward into the unknown. It plucks that familiar chord that resonates in our lives and brings the heart to life with a bittersweet melody. Poetry consoles the morning and embraces the night. It tickles our soul and fills us with delight. From the legendary writings of Homer to the melodic tongue of Shakespeare, through the pandemonium of Milton and the walls of Tintin Abbey, clambering through Eliot's wasteland and staring into Sylvia's mirror. Poetry has always and will continue to walk beside us, to count our steps. Auden loaded his ammunition, a voice to undo the folded lie. And though he later would retreat to mask his voice from the big guy, his words have been memorized. A poem on its own cannot change the world. It cannot diminish evil or hinder diplomacy of a callous dictator. So what can poetry do? A poem can illustrate and preserve the timeless beauty of a hatching egg, or a scene of splendid nature. It can seize a moment of pure terror and calamity and arrest the emotions in a wooden chest of sorrow. A poem can take the ordinary, throw it in a kaleidoscope of aura, and glorify its eccentricity. Above all else, a poem can open our eyes, project an array of ideas and inspiration to us, the reader. My poetry may not appeal to the masses. It would aggravate the majority, but there'll always be room for me to express my idea, and in this case, it is a lifelong, enduring affair with poetry. This is the idea that you and I can share here tonight, and this is the reason why I continue to write. Thanks.
Next up, could we have Megan, please?
Right, this poem is called Smoking, and I've recently been told that it actually makes people want to smoke more than less because it's like a walking smoking advertisement. So sorry everyone who smokes, but hopefully you'll get a break soon. Okay, smoking. Curdled cream fat. Sponge sucking sedge from the shower floor. Melded beauty products creating moulding cheese mixed to orange horror. Fat cooking. Bubbling bacon bursts onto membrane, wasp sting, or lava pouring down mountain to elbow, leaving scars, abstract modernist sketches, markings on caves meaning cannibalism, culture of cooking yourself inside, promotes itself, harming. She died on a Tuesday while I was breathing. Soft, slow, shapeless. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ever-ending cycle. She grew into roses. She was beautiful outside while inside smoked, leaving only heart metaphorical beating, her into accepting this was her fault of automation. Descend down, drown in air only you breathe, not coughing yet, half lung up the stairs. Are you taking the mick? I ran to see her because I loved her, not to mock her. Simulated life while death hung from the rafters of her epiglottis and then plunged. I remember breath catching on rocks as smoking fired water swept her past, in ravaged rivers to water's edge left. While she remembered dancing and singing, I was left with curdled cream fat and bursting oil. Scars from fireworks in a pan, wasp sting on skin, smoky shadows abandoned. Thank you.
Really tired of going up these stairs now. Next up, could we have Morgan, please?
I'm debating between one of these, depending on whether I get through to the next one. Well, I will go for this one. This is a very old poem, several years old, and unfortunately still relevant. It's called Prescriptions. My room is a scatter with packets of pills and prescriptions, much like my stomach and my blood is filled with four units of mangled plastic foil and cardboard, as is dictated by paper leaflets and ingredients and names for every chemical compound. Of course, alongside effects, both intended necessary inside, they need you to know. Under my bed, crushed, packed in plastic, then an envelope through the strains of the same kind of self-prescription, bitter to taste and always secret. Bedside table, top drawer, dried, weighed, bagged and wrapped, lighter and pipe in the open by a book on the windowsill. Receipts, spare change, bottom drawer, packets of rolling papers, some balloons for the cans of solvent stationed secretly among stationery. The empty bags of past prescriptions. 2 bags of chemical compounds tagging sports of the molecular structure hidden between paper, sheets of course notes and materials kept inside a plastic folder inside a file binder, education of my own. A paramedic's glove and remnants of a heart monitor. Collection of cards and love notes personalised with drawings. Long since lost their meaning. Breathalyzer and a charge sheet, letter full of lies to court. In the middle of the floor, a flyer. Martin Prowell, solicitors. Been injured? Not sure what to do next.
So that's the end of our beginners round. So first off, the advanced round, can we have Jack, please?
So I didn't memorize this one, sorry to disappoint. I have been counting references to people's balls. This makes 3. Any feminist scholars in the room? I know there are at least a few. Make of that what you will. I was waiting for a poem last night in a sort of last bit of desperation, and this one found me because it's happened in this hall. Needless to say, she alerted me immediately and apologized for what seemed initially a very minor misdemeanor. Initially. It's a new hobby, the sewing, and her awareness of the needle is still growing. And her fingers were slim, but clumsy nonetheless, and the light was dim, showing the reflections of the tiny needle, the sharp and shiny fucking shard of evil that is now somewhere in the sofa around us. Which is to say, everywhere in the sofa around us. Vicious, omnipresent, like Old Testament God. I'd probably obey the needle if I knew what the needle's will was. For the first 30 seconds, I can't move at all, only imagine the needle piercing different parts of my body and thinking the word, balls. You're only wearing a dressing gown, balls. You've been sitting cross-legged, balls. These boxes are old. The elastic is non-committal. Balls, balls. She thinks maybe it pushed inside the pale pink cushion she's leaning on. So I take it from her, slowly squeeze it with infinite care and nightmares of my fingertips bleeding, my fingernails peeling. But it yields no positive results, proving nothing. Now all the cushions in our vicinity are suspect, guilty by association, potentially armed, and to be treated with caution. I size up the cushion closest to me, thinking suddenly of broken glass, sea nettles, for some reason bumblebees. I try to let the moment pass, but this is real. I'm at the mercy of a tiny pointed piece of steel. I stand, realizing too that the carpets are part of this now. They're compliant. I go to sit back down, there's that word again, balls. What if the needle's in my dressing gown? Not impossible. Not likely, but logic's left the party. I'm already padding gingerly away towards the door, examining every single inch of floor before I place my foot, but I can't leave. What if the needle is somehow on me? Fear of the needle, fear of sitting on the needle, cannot be allowed to contaminate the other rooms. Aggrieved, I resolve the safest thing to do is revolve on the spot to retrace my steps and find this thing. She hasn't moved. It's very wise. That the needle forgets she's there and surprises it. But no, that's not it. She's got a box of needles. She's getting out another needle. Now she's threading the second needle. Her answer to this is more fucking needles. Despite myself, I'm kind of impressed that she can cope with the unbearable stress of the potentiality of this single needle. I called her up on this. She seems unfazed. She says the needle will turn up in a couple of days, or else it's lost down the side of the couch for good. Doesn't consider that it might turn up in my foot, or the back of my leg, or in my arm. That's the end of the story. There's no resolution. The needle remains at large within our flat. I haven't slept. Our tenancy ends in September, so there's that. But we'll take the cushions with us, and the sofa covering. So after all, got the long-term prospect of an unexpected needle to the balls. Thank you.
Can we have Darren, please?
I wrote this last week, having read a lot of critical theory on Finnegan's Wake, so I do apologise. About halfway through, I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to write down the first thing that comes to mind and just do that. This is called The First Thing That Comes to Mind, and it starts around, what the hell am I? The river running, individual one, clocks gunshot around behind the ailing orbit, falling, rising, shoots fierce lips now under the line, that twins the swerving sea sky, pale and crisp, now line and twist, then callous thunder along the twone that twines the brine and groans the surface, leonine and chandelier deluded, fussy, lone and denuded, and this is naked fire that dance and scrapes all things, returning in recursive tapes, rewound, unreeled, and felt from felt, the tip, top, tap, tepid, Gilead. I have no bomb, they lock these arms on me, for what am I? Do tell me, what the hell am I? I am the day, the night, the hero fallen, rising from whatever burns me into every ash mountain, running on a Jubilee road, memorializing antiques and regal relics, rotting their inherited land, canker, if you are cancer, Capricorn, credenza, happy. Higher than the hyacinth that keeps its weedly appearance rigidly up, upper lips, stiff and irresponsible. Cheer up, oh Addis Miserabilis, the diction of weightless boards, airing alien grievances on top of the overtop, black-white Mr. Mystery heart-shaped, broke the winsome bed-shaped shell holding anything. Now come, soda. Give it to my lips and put it on the drip feed. Feed it, drip me the god juice. Oh, rapture me up, rapture my kidneys with the extra wonder, intolerable weightlessness. Topographically speaking, of being, of feeling, of sealing the deal in the healing fields unending. Come on here. I call to all the every no one shambling and onto the width and breadth of this unending earth that ever flattens in hatching an eternal beauty. Yes, I saw the space in the wave of space between the waves of space, oral and oral sound carried crashing against ear shores. Are you Sue? They ask. Who's they? Who is Doctor? They are me, aren't they all together? Baby, it's burning into spring. The crap is coming, but I am standing astride the whistling melancholy. Baby, give me cause, give me fire, give me all that fuels me. Come on. Thank you very much.
But can we have Dean, please?
Excellent. So this is singularity. For today's Poetry Slam, I have agreed to install a budget nanoprocessor in my head to protest against the extent in which we may become dependent of technology. And in a brief flick of the switch, I 50% off sale, £1. That's it until Monday. Facebook notification, Richard has liked it, email notification, discover penis enlargement self-hypnosis from Santa. Facebook notification. Brad Martin as my Institute, Dean, I need help. I just got my fault. At first, the bio upgrades seem like a condensed utopia, a citadel of circuits scurrying to serve all of human history, available at the synapses notice, capable of curing any cognitive defect. The AI brain enhancer will give you free Wi-Fi, eidetic memory, telekinetic communication, and access to every language, parsec. No small step for man, because these bionic legs are taking giant leaps for themselves. The shavings of grades cost, calculated cost, £10,000 per month. Creativity is now a privilege to the wealthy elites who will work to monopolize originality for a cliche, burning out ideas like fossil fuels as they brainstorm on how to make more products, smarter machines, and more money. Imagine the poetry slams attended by these businessmen simulating verbal sequence. Verb, noun, adverb, adjective, line, simile, pod, verb, pronoun, clause, stress, stress, line. Algorithm is printing relentlessly, the top holding like a newspaper machine, and the audience aren't even listening because they think it's just another tech demo. Don't worry, if like me you couldn't afford it, I'm using a consumer-friendly version for dirt cheap, a quad-core base code of 160 gigabytes ramming advertisements into your daydreams and nightmares. There's an inbuilt dictionary for the nights looking up definitions of consent real, wondering if machine has always been a synonym for human.
But don't worry, you won't be alone. You also have a GPS tracker who can tell exactly where this is going, which is a private. 30% off sale, the GPS tracker is now available until Sunday. And then it's only a matter of solid time before the machines become self-aware, stringing human atrocities across the world wide called We may try to fight them off, but this is a chess game where it's pawns and knights versus queens and chessboards. They will track us down, experimenting, they'll track us down, only just using blank blades, correct, autocorrect, and radiation to see what makes us so worthy of using them scrambling, and without anesthetics until we're screaming and Hume.exe will stop responding. A problem caused this program to stop working correctly. A solution will be sent to you directly.
Next up, can we have George, please?
No desire to follow that at all. I wrote this one thinking about poets are short. I wrote this thinking about the sort of desperate coitus between sadness and laughter that seems to go on in life. It's called You've Got to Laugh. Take a hike across the lines like Sid James' face and trying to act like he was all a waste. You've got to laugh. And do you remember when Babs was stretching and it flung off like the phrases were etching on a history in progress that we hope never to confess? You've got to laugh. So Tony Hancock hands you a pint of vodka and every other word is followed by a comma, while his shadow most handsome and leaves the party quietly. You've got to laugh. And this chemo ward smells like potato and the horrible things that we're glad to know. You've got to laugh. So one day I tried to define "for" to you. And you giggled, although you never knew how important that was. No one ever does when it's coming down from above, and that's all there is left. The very best that you can accept. This feels ridiculous. You've got to laugh.
Thank you. We'll just let the judges tell you out their results and have a short little break.